Now, another key fact of life that the Yellen Fed has been reminding us of is this notion that the liftoff for Fed rates, and again, David's chart showed you with a microscope, you can see that 25 basis point increase in December, but there is a liftoff path, and I'll come back to that in a moment. And one reason why we have a very gradual liftoff path as communicated by Chair Yellen and others is this notion that the equilibrium, or as I've called it, the neutral real interest rate in the economy is lower than before the crisis. Now, the neutral interest rate is an important input to monetary policy. It's also unobserved, and it's also time-varying, which, as John Faust, as the world's leading expert, can tell you, means it's a really hard thing to nail down econometrically. But the best guess that we have is that neutral policy rates in the U.S. and around the world are a lot lower than they used to be, which means that the ultimate Fed destination in this cycle is lower. Now, a corollary of that is that even when you get to that destination, rates are going to be a lot lower than they were before the crisis, which means that any adverse shock is more likely to put you into a situation where the central bank will have to use unconventional tools. The rule of thumb in the famous John Taylor rule was to aim for a policy rate of 2% inflation plus John's assumption of a 2% neutral rate. So you'd have rates of around 4%. Indeed, on average, from 1994 until 2007, that was the average funds rate in that period. And in a new neutral world, because the destination is lower, you're more likely to need to use unconventional policies.